Here we are then testing the XF 500mm f5.6 on my T4, which is absolutely in a different postcode, hence I'm a bit flustered. I've done a few takes. Yeah, this is interesting. This is not the typical setup for this lens at all, but you know we like to just crack on testing from the get-go. But previous takes have taught me that I can't afford to jump out of the frame, move, test the focus, breathing in this section, so we'll just get on with it. We'll move on to the studio section and look at it up close, then we can get on with testing this over the next few weeks and then put my thoughts together, and then it'll be over to you. So let's get this one back in place. I think it prefers this face anyway, and then I'm gonna trek all the way back to my T4, even trying to keep myself in frame even though I'm blurred. Let's just crack on. Well, that is a beast. Basically the GF lens that we looked at before, but of course with the smaller X mount there, weather sealed. Of course, this thing weighs 1,335 grams, so nearly 3 pounds, 2.94 pounds in, if you're into that sort of measurement. Absolute beast. Now we've got the nice rubberized edge on the hood there. We've got the window to access the filters. Let's just take that off there and you'll see that we've got a huge 95mm filter thread there. Slot that back on. Absolutely massive. We have naturally the full to 5 meter to infinity there, OIS 5.5 stops, preset or AF lock AF, and we've got a set there. Now if we flick round to here, you can see there are 4 preset buttons which feel nice. Manual focusing, touch heavy, no AF MF switch, which I think is going to be a bit of a negative for me, but only a minor one. We've got a really nice aperture ring, light clicks, and then you push the button to the A, so 5.6 to 22. Now this thing is giving us in full frame speed, some of us still understand that more, 762mm, angle of view 3.3. There are 9 diaphragm blades, 21 elements in 14 groups. A lot of glass to play with, but of course it's not the fastest aperture in the world, but for the purpose this could be absolutely quality. Now here we have a rotating tripod collar, which is also removable quickly, as we saw before. He says loosen it, pull down. It's a bit easy when it's attached. Pull down and you're away. Should have done it that way. That feels nice, actually. That's a really decent thing. Let's just see if there's clicks on this. There aren't clicks, but there's a marking. There are markings, so you know that helps, I guess. Yeah, happy. This thing feels really, really nice. Look at that. And of course, I should have said, as you would have seen, this is Arca Swiss compatible, which is perfect for me. Not much else to say. The closest focus distance, 2.7 meters. You'd have seen the intro. It was quite tricky dealing with, but that's really not what this is made for. 0.2 times magnification ratio. I think that is basically everything we need to talk about when it comes to spec and the like. And I always put these on the wrong way around, although you know it doesn't really matter. We've got an invader on the pitch. There we go. Look at that. We better get out and play with it properly. When it comes to build and handling, it's obviously basically the same experience that we had with the GF model, more or less. That is to say, top quality, built to last, easy to work with, surprisingly kind of lightweight considering what we're dealing with. All the bells and whistles work, though maybe I'd like to have a bit more of a tactile feel to lining up the tripod collar with the marks on the lens, and possibly a manual focus switch. What do you reckon? At least for me. It's not a huge loss though. Autofocus, even on my T4, wasn't bad, but I'd recommend going with a newer body like the H2S to get the most out of this beast, actual beast. The OIS worked well with the IBIS on my T4, though I tend to use a monopod or tripod and fast shutter speed with a lens like this to give me the best chance. Finally, you can use a teleconverters, which is nice, but due to the lack of light, I stuck to testing the lens as is and the lack of teleconverters. Anyway. Sharpness in the center, excellent. The edges, almost basically excellent. F8 improves what's left to improve, and then F11, 16, diffraction sets in, but wide open, this thing is superb. Color rendering, excellent. Contrast, also excellent. Chromatic aberration, basically absent, and distortion, not noticeable, at least in my real world testing. Fringing, also minimal. Vignetting, not present. You're getting the idea. Ghosting, flare, both well controlled. Now, you probably even saw this in the intro too, bizarrely. But bokeh, basically beautiful. While you're not going to be using it for portraits or even stuff like the intro, it's very good at, clearly very good at blurring out foliage, the distractions from the background. Yeah, love it. So, overall, one of the best IQ performances we've seen in a while. So is it a case of you get what you pay for? Let's talk about that after a few more samples. The closest lens that we've tested on the channel is the XF 150 to 600, which is a lot cheaper. It's got that zoom range, but this is smaller, lighter, sharper, and has a faster aperture. It's still not that fast, but would you accept a bigger lens to get f4? Now, if money is no object, what about the XF 200mm f2 that we looked at before and the 2x teleconverter? That could be an interesting combination if you've got the pockets for it. Anyway, this lens, it's £2,899 at the point of recording. I think it's a serious bit of kit, very easy to use, superb image quality. What else do you want? Well, what else can compete with it? I mean, there is that 500mm from TT Artisan. It is f5.62, but it's manual focus. But come on, let's be serious. This is in its own class. Have you used it? Let us know in the comments, and I'll see you there.